Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I am here in this special location deep within Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, because guess what? It's back. This vehicle right here. This is your updated, refresh, but also reintroduction of the Honda Civic Hybrid. This being your 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. But before we dive in to not only the hatchback, but also the sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Like I said, it's back, and it's back in a very big way. It's been around, started in 2003, went all the way until 2015. So it's been a hot minute since we've had a Honda Civic Hybrid, but it's not just about the hybrid. The whole Civic lineup is getting a refresh, an update, and some restructuring. Now, the great news is you'll be able to have your choice. You'll be able to either go straight up ICE or go with the hybrid setup. Plus, the big news on top of everything is the new look of the Civic and new colors, actually 4 new colors. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for that best new compact sedan or compact hatchback that's going to get maximum MPGs and of course that sporty driving style, do you go with this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid? Let's go ahead, dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, we're going to start with the hatchback. And I really think that the hatchback for many people fits a lot of different things so very well because you're going to get SUV versatility with the cargo space, but you're also getting that sporty style. Now, like I said, all 2025 Civics are getting a new look. So let's start at the front of the business and we'll go from there. So you're still going to have that same great headlight design. I really like on the FL5 chassis the way they structure the headlight design with your LED daytime running lamp, LED turn signal, and of course your LED headlights. With our particular color here, that boost blue pearl, it just really fits the sportiness of the car. And it's interesting because I think a lot of times when people see this color on a hybrid or on a standard hatchback, they automatically think Type R because the color looks that sporty, but yet it fits the character of the car so well. Now, new for 2025, you're going to notice the refresh in design. I love the way they brought the body line and gave it a little bit more of an aggressive look. Plus, we have functional air curtains on both sides. You'll notice how we have this flat black splitter that extends on the sides. Of course, when we're looking at any type of vehicle today, whether it's an ICE, whether it's a hybrid, whether it's an EV, of course, you gotta watch out for drag. You gotta maximize the airflow. And this is something that they did with the new Civic, not just to make it look better, but also help with that airflow to get maximum range from a tank of gas. Now, as we come across the front nose, I really like the way you see this evolution in the FL5 chassis. So what you're gonna find up top, of course, that classic Honda badge. It's crazy to think the Civic has been around since 1973. That actually makes the Civic older than I am, which is nice to say. You do have your gloss black honeycomb grille up top. And then working your way down, you'll see how they kind of widen the front end grill area, that lower grill area. And I'm glad that they kept it flat black because obviously being closer to the road, this is going to take a better beating and still look good over miles and miles and miles. And then the addition of the body color front lip splitter that extends out to help scoop air into that lower grill area. Now, of course, like I said, we have boost blue pearl on this vehicle, but we actually have, like I said at the start of the vehicle, of this vehicle review, we have 4 different colors. So you have solar silver metallic, you have your urban gray pearl, you have your sand dune pearl, and you have blue lagoon pearl. 4 new colors to choose from. That's pretty crazy that they're bringing that many different colors, especially when they already have some great colors here. Now, as we rise up, you'll notice how that extension of the top portion of the front fascia still looking good, clean body lines into the hood. And really what the big news is what is underneath the hood. So what you're gonna find, so like I said, first time since 2015, you're looking at a 2-liter inline-4, naturally aspirated engine that's mated to a dual motor hybrid setup that's going to give us 200 horsepower, which makes it just as powerful as a Civic Si. So you're looking at the second most powerful Civic underneath, of course, the mighty Type R, 232 pound-feet of torque. It uses a linear shift control transmission. When you look at MPGs, and obviously a hybrid's about maximizing MPGs, 50 MPGs combined, you have 4 levels of regen braking, and they even went to the extent of developing special tires for lower resistance, and of course, special suspension tuning. Now, if you're wondering, are there other things that have been updated and refreshed for the Civic? Yes. The way that they're going to sell them has been refreshed. So you're going to have your choice of 4 different ways of buying your Civic. You can start at the entryway, which is going to be LX. Now, LX is only available as a sedan, and it's only available as an ICE setup. You then can step up to Sport, which you'll have your choice of hatchback or sedan, still with an ICE setup, or then you go Sport, Hybrid Sport, which is going to add that hybrid power plant, or you're going to go to the tippy top of the Civic Heap, which is what we have here, and that's going to be the Sport Touring Hybrid setup. So it's nice that they kind of cut out a lot of the other trims and really made it a very easy buying process. And wait until you hear what the starting price is going to be for this new Civic with the refresh and the changes. But I'm not ready to tell you that yet. Let's continue on the outside. Now, as we come around, of course, if you have new front end and new grille and all that, you're going to have new wheel style. And I'm liking what they did. Machine aluminum, but they didn't just do like a traditional just machine aluminum around the exterior edge of the wheel. They did these really nice accents, and you'll notice how we have a flat gray surface to the wheel. Nice thick spokes, gives it that muscular look without looking too kind of fuddy-duddy and boring. So they really brought that sporty style into the wheel. These are those Goodyear tires I was telling you about that were developed to cut down on rolling resistance. And if you're wondering what's the size of this wheel, 18-inch wheel, that's our diameter, 235 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and like I had just mentioned, they went through the suspension to really kind of hone in on that tuning. And that's one of the things that I've always liked about Hondas, is that no matter if you're driving a Honda Accord, a Honda Civic, a Honda Fit, Type R, an Odyssey, there's just something that Honda does with their suspension and their steering that it communicates much different than the competition. And I think that's what keeps bringing people back and bringing new people into the Honda brand. But let me know what you feel, how you feel about the wheel and body color setup. I think that this would be one of my top choices, but I'm very curious to see one of those other 4 color choices, which I will show you that stuff in a little bit. Now, as we come down the side, you do have gloss black on the mirror caps. Of course, we have our LED turn signals, nice and slim and trim. You'll notice that we have a standard size sunroof. And then from the side of the vehicle, I really like the silhouette. And I'm not just saying this because I own an FL5 Type R, which of course is based off the hatchback Civic. There's just something about the body lines of the Civic that really checks off a lot of boxes because it doesn't look like your traditional hatchback, more like a boxy type of style. Really sleek, almost like a sportback. Now we do have color matched on the door handles, which is great because, like I said, this Boost Blue Pearl is absolutely phenomenal, especially when you get in the sun. And then I like the way they brought flat black, not gloss, flat black side skirt extension. Not only does it look good, but a Honda is not just about looking good. It's not like all show and no go. That's going to help with the airflow down the side of the vehicle. Now, as we continue down the side, there's that sleek hatchback, sportback style that they bring into the FL5 Civic. And then when we get to the tail end of the business, a lot of it makes sense. It's what you've seen, except for something that's different. What you're going to notice is an update in the taillights. Really liking the way they're doing their LED lighting, especially that top portion. You do have a rear mounted wiper to help keep that rear glass clean, especially when it's pouring rain. And then as we drop it like it's hot here, deep within Motor City, very clean lower bumper area. You got a simulated rear diffuser area, you got your Civic badge, and then something like I said, sport touring, but that's not the big news, hybrid. That's the big news. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and talk about what's different for 2025 and the Civic. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, that sport touring trim. That's going to be your top trim, like I mentioned. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, you didn't say anything about the ICE setup. The ICE setup is still going to be that 2-liter naturally aspirated inline 4. So that goes unchanged. But what is the new addition? Obviously, we're focusing on the hybrid setup. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm glad I waited on buying a Civic. I was hoping that they were going to bring the hybrid name. I actually went and saw a fortune teller, and they read my palm and told me that Honda's bringing back the Civic Hybrid, so I didn't buy one. But I'm very curious, how much is this Civic going to cost? Starting price for model year 2025 Civic will be under $30,000. So something to think about with this vehicle. But let's see what other things are in store for you for the new 2025 Civic. To the door panels. I still love the clean, simple, classy design. You got your soft touch material up top, a little bit of gloss black, but you know what? You're not going to touch that unless you're just doing something weird to the door panel. Bright silver on the door handle. There's that material that Honda brought for this 11th generation Civic, where it isn't just flat black, it has some style to it, but it's fingerprint resistant. They actually had 500 people put their hands on those and nobody's fingerprints were shown on the material. Nice soft touch on the armrest with a little bit of stitching goes a long way. And easily in that door pocket, you'll be able to fit 3 Coney dogs and a Dr. Pepper to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, you got your 12-speaker Bose sound system. Love the soft touch material. That gloss black is all in the right places. You're not touching this area, but it looks good, especially how they still have that wire mesh honeycomb finish to hide the AC vents. And then as we slide in, what do we got going on? We have our 9-inch infotainment system, full touchscreen, but what's new for 2025 is we got the built-in Google setup. So there's our Google Maps. Nice, clear. Of course, you're going to have your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, the real deal volume knob. We go back to home. What's the other new thing? Of course, if you're going Google, you have your Google Assistant, but you also now get a power flow gauge because this is the hybrid. So nice to see, easy setup like that. And then you have all the other usual icons, the Alexa that you're able to use. So very, very nice that they're evolving their system rather than doing a total revolution. Now, working our way down, you are going to have 3 stages of heated seats. You do have your dual climate control with those great knobs and switches. Down below, you have 2 USB-Cs, a 12-volt, and wireless charging. This is going to control that linear shift transmission. And then there's more of that non-fingerprint. Look at this. I just ate a whole package of Twinkies and no Twinkie cream or anything is on that material. We have our drive mode selector switch, 2 cup holders, and then that nice soft material on the armrest with the stitching. Open it up, what do we have? We have a little tiny coin tray here. This is where you could keep your game tokens for when you're going to the arcade. Man, I miss the arcade days. Those used to be the days. And then what the heck happened here? Somebody came and ate my Twinkies because, or maybe it was me. I can't remember. I'll have to talk to Lori about that. But you could actually fit, believe it or not, in this center console. This is just 2 packages. You could fit, I would say, 10 packages. And that's double package, remember, 2. The original style. 10 of those in there, no problem. I'm going to find out who the heck ate my Twinkies. And then the materials. I love the soft touch, the stitching, the way they did the perforated material in the center. Down below, you have full electric assist for your passenger, full electric assist, of course, for the driver. And then there's that standard size sunroof. And I'm glad that they went black on the headliner. If you go beige, I feel like in here, it wouldn't work on this particular one. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this leather wrap steering wheel in the all new Sport Touring Hybrid Civic. All right, guys, here we are, business time, behind the wheel of this Sport Touring Hybrid. Now, as you go into the pedal box, because this is the Sport Touring trim, you are going to get a nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle, and a good sized dead pedal. You do have your seat controls that are very easy to get to. And even though this is a compact car, you still have plenty of room in here. And that is the good news about that. Now, when it comes to the steering wheel, the leather, the stitching, love the way it's got a little bit of aluminum trim, flat black on the buttons and the thumb wheel drive controllers. You have your paddles on the back of the wheel. Remember, you got those different levels of regen braking, which is awesome. Manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have your digital gauge cluster, 10-inch display, nice color graphics. Obviously, you could scroll through a cornucopia of information, including the hybrid setup, where you could see where the battery pack is and then where the rest of the components are at the front of the vehicle. Obviously, I can't show you the drive modes because we're not driving right now. But you know that we will be doing that very, very soon. I have a feeling. But why don't we continue this journey? It's not just about the people up front. If we just worried about that, we would be what's called selfish. Let's get into the back seat and see how your passenger is going to enjoy that you got a Civic Hybrid. All right, guys, back seat time. And once again, it's one of those things that it mystifies me how they're able to fit this much room in the back seat, especially with it being a hybrid, remember, because sometimes certain cars can take up space when they become hybrids, but I still feel great. I'm still 6 feet tall back here, and I'm not even close to the headliner. Backs of the seats, you have the nice leather style material. The zonk I have is that there's no USBs back here. So no USB-C, no USB-A. There's not even a 12 volt or 2 cans of soup and a string so that you could use that as a telephone. There's nothing back here. I do have a nice large pocket where what I could do is when my phone dies, I could keep some of my favorite magazines. You know, I love Racer magazine. I love Car and Driver. Maybe we should come out with a Raiti's Rides magazine. Lori's shaking her head no. We'll see. But sitting back here, feel good. I know I'm going to feel even better. Look at this. It's like a freaking trampoline, how soft that armrest is with the 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead? I told you this has good cargo space. I hope I'm not going to be lying to you. Let's get back to that hatch, pop it, and see how much cargo room there is in this Honda. All right, guys, obviously if we have a hatchback, it's now time to pop the hatch. And that's one of the things that's great about the Civic hatchback period, is that you're going to be able to maximize your space. And with this being the Sport Touring Hybrid, look at how you still have tons of cargo volume. So not only is the cargo floor very low, which gives you a nice solid edge here so nothing's going to roll out if you park on a hill or if your driveway is very steep, but then you also have your 60-40 split for the seats to maximize your time when you go to Costco, when you go to Sam's Club, or whatever else you're going to do. Now, of course, with this being a hybrid, we don't have a spare. So just something that I like to bring to your attention, and I know people have asked for that, but still, like I said, when it comes to that hypermiling and going further on a tank of gas, there's no way around it. Hybrid is really going to maximize that fuel. Now, like I said, we're not ready to do the first drive yet. I don't think I'd be able to squeeze this past the front door, but I do have a surprise before we wrap it up. Let's get to it. All right, guys, it's been one crazy heck of a day deep within Motor City. Oh, I almost forgot. I promised you something. What do I have extra special? Not only do we have, like I said, the hatchback here, but look at what I have right over my shoulder behind me. This is your refresh, updated look to the sedan, but this is your Sport Touring Hybrid sedan, that 2025 Civic model, and this just happens to be one of those 4 new colors. Can you take a guess what it is? Yes, you're correct, Blue Lagoon Pearl. So when you look at the front, you'll see how on the sedan you're still getting that same great aggressive but sporty look. It's not too over your top in your face. And I think, like I said, it really shows the evolution. You have that nice size honeycomb grille, lots of airflow, full functionality, and then on the lower portion, there's that wider lower grille area with the body color. I'm really digging this body color in the center. It really breaks up the sea of black that's on the lower portion. Now, as we go around the bend, because this is a sport touring hybrid sedan, no surprise, you got your same style wheel design, and it really works whether you're looking at the hatchback or the sedan. Remember, that's an 18-inch wheel, which is nice with those machined aluminum accents. This color looks good in here, but I can't wait to see it outside. I really feel like this one is gonna have a nice pop when the sun hits it. Still getting your gloss black on your mirror catch, because like I said, this is a sport touring hybrid sedan, just like the hatchback. What is the one trim? Here's the final test at the end of the video. What trim only comes as a sedan? Yes, you in the back. You are correct. The LX. LX only available as a sedan, and that's an ICE setup only. Now, when we get to the back, just like the hatchback, here is your new taillight design. Really digging the way that they style the taillights, and especially how they did it on the sedan. It really shows the differences between the two, and it's nice that they had these on display for us. But we definitely want to thank everybody at Honda for having us out here to bring these to you. This is the first physical in the flesh appearance of the new Civics, especially with the return of the hybrid. I really feel like this is a very important time for Honda to bring back the Civic Hybrid, especially when you look at the competition. But we definitely want to thank everybody with Honda for having us out. Let me know in the comment section what your feelings are on this 2025 Honda Civic. And when I say that, I'm talking about the refresh changes, I'm talking about the update of the Google built-in, and obviously I'm talking about that hybrid power, because I promise you, not only will I be reading them, but also the people at Honda go through the comment sections as well. So definitely let them know your thoughts on this. But until we meet another day in another city far, far away, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for LG Raiti, Lori Gibbons Raiti, working that camera like a champ, no matter where we are in any state in the continuous 50 states of the United States. She makes it happen. So show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.